Brad Bordessa from liveukulele.com, and in part 3 of my Reggae Strums series, this is going to be about the ska strum. Ska is a more rocky, busy version of reggae. It's basically reggae sped up to double time, and with typically a more driving beat and a little bit more of a rock feel. The mechanics of the strum are basically going to be the same as the original basic reggae skank, right? And that's where you play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. For a ska sound, you're basically changing your count. The motion and the timing is sort of the same, but we're dropping what we already have into a double time feel. So now instead of on the 2 and the 4, which is the 1 is the downbeat and the 3 is the downbeat and the 2 and the 4 are upbeats in this case, when we move to a ska feel, the 1, 2, 3, 4 are all going to be more downbeat feels, and then your chank coming up is always going to be on the and. So basically, you're just doubling what we already had. 2 and 4 becomes and, right? So if we were to count it, it would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Because this style is so quick, you might find it easiest to mute with your palm in between the different strums, because you're strumming up and you have to drop down again to get another up strum back to back. When you drop down, you can drop your hand onto the strings to create a muting sound. Because again, if we just play unmuted chords, it's a completely different feel. Whereas if you mute it at that same tempo, it sounds like it's faster. Because you're cutting the chords short, it has a lot more driving feel, and the rhythm pushes along a lot harder when you mute the chords after they're played. So once again, you're going to strum up and then drop your palm onto the strings. So basically your up strum is the up, and the down strum, you're not actually playing anything on the down strum, but you're muting with your palm on the down strum. So as you release down into that mute, your finger is actually kind of curling, getting ready to come up again. So as you strum up, you're dropping down, and then your finger's just ready. It's kind of a cycle. It just rolls around and around and around. Something that I tend to do for any of these 3 different styles of reggae strums is to use a multitude of different mutes as I'm playing. Like as I was just playing the last example, I had to try it again because I realized I was actually doing 2 kinds of mutes at once. And basically what this does is it's a safety net for your mute. You really are making sure that it's happening, and it's just, perhaps it's just a memorization device or something for me, or a way to help me keep the rhythm in my body and in the feel of the song by making both those movements at once. Maybe one feels something one way and one feels something the other way. But what I was doing before was I was doing the lift mute. See, I have to figure these things out as I go. Doing the lift mute with this hand, but I'm also bringing my hand down to do a palm mute on this hand. And where one starts and the other one ends, I probably couldn't tell you. But by having both, if this one gets a little sloppy or this one gets a little sloppy, the other one's there to really take care of the mute and make sure that nothing gets through. The best thing that you can do for yourself if these different sounds and styles are of interest and you're not familiar with them is listen to them a lot. Check out the different reggae artists. Of course, Bob Marley and Steel Pulse. But there's also more Hawaiian artists like Brother Walter from Hawaii and the Hawaiian Style Band. You've got different subgenres of reggae. And then you move to ska, you're looking more like Sublime. Just it's a little more new school. Some of the newer guys have been playing more in a ska style. But definitely, if you haven't heard it, you're going to have a hard time playing it. You really just need to spend some time with it and get it in your bones so that when you go to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you don't need to think about it so much. It's just like, oh yeah, duh, that's how it sounds. That's how you make the sound, and that's how it works. And it's not that you don't have to think about it, but it's that the idea of the thing is already in your mind and in your bones as you've felt that music and listened to that music and tried a little bit to understand it. But bottom line, reggae is a rhythm thing. The strums aren't hard. It's either down or up. And then in the case of the Hawaiian strum, it's down and up. But even so, it's really simple mechanically. It's just putting the strums on the offbeat can be kind of weird at first as you get used to this style. It's sort of unnatural compared to playing Hawaiian music or almost any kind of music that is normally played on the ukulele. But it's great fun because of that, and that's what gives it such a signature sound. So that does it for this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, sign up for the mailing list on liveukulele.com, and keep up to date on what I'm up to and the different new lessons I'm putting out. So until next time, aloha.